Hey guys, today I figured I would do a real quick video for you guys about if I think the free dining plan rumors are worth it. So a long time ago when we took our first trip, we took it during free dining. Back then free dining was awesome. So back then, if you bought your room, you bought your tickets, you got free dining at a table service restaurant if you stayed at Moderates, and then I think it was quick service if you stayed at Values, and the regular dining plan if you stayed at deluxe resorts. You could just get regular tickets, you didn't have to be there at a certain time, and the dates were tons and tons and tons. It was basically like September, October, some of November, some of December. When we did it, our trip saved, I think, like close to $1,000 for us. We were then considered 2 adults and 3 kids because Ellie didn't count at that point, and then she could eat off of our thing. We did it because we were in the free dining mindset, and we did it because it was our first trip to Disney and we wanted to try lots and lots of character meals and, you know, see what we could, you know, if we could get the best bang for our buck. My family's pretty good eaters and things like that. In hindsight, I look at it and we did a lot of character breakfast, and by the end of it we were so sick of breakfast buffets, and I think we made out on it, but I'm not quite sure because you know, we weren't really, it's kind of like a job making sure that you're making the most out of the dining plan, if I'm being completely honest. So now, and this is all based on rumors, and I've heard a bunch of different rumors. So now the rumor coming out about free dining is you have the date still in actually August, September, October, November, December, but it's like little weird sections of dates. And you have to be there for 4 days. It has to be 4 nights. So technically you're there 5 days. So you have to have a 4-night stay at least. It has to fall in within this time. If you stay at Value, you get quick service. If you stay at Moderate, I've seen both quick service or table service. I'm gonna assume they're gonna offer, I would assume that they would offer table service for Moderates because there's a table service in all the Moderate resorts, but who knows? And then with the deluxe, you would get, you know, the regular dining plan. When we did it, the first trip, we actually upgraded our dining. So we paid a little bit more to have the table service dining plan. So now you also have to stay the 4 nights, and then you also have to upgrade your tickets to the park hopper tickets. If you're not park hopping, which we didn't on our first trip, and heck, when we're done having annual passes, we'll go back to just a single day ticket because we don't need to hop. But, you know, that's an added expense too. So I just ran some numbers. So now keep in mind, if you stay at a hotel, a Disney property hotel, to get the free dining, then you have to pay full price of that room. So I ran numbers for the same exact weekend. So at Art of Animation, you're gonna pay $340 a night to have free dining versus $324 just for the summer promotion. Now I'm going to assume that they may release another promotion for that time, like another room discount or something else. And my annual pass discount actually even gets it down to $311 a night. So you're saving, you know, $30 to $40 a night on your room alone when you figure out, you know, taxes and everything else. For your tickets, to get the non-free dining tickets, your tickets for my family would have been $2,181 for 5 days. Is that what I picked? Maybe I picked 4 days, I'm not quite sure. And then tickets for the same exact amount of days would be the $2,181, plus for my family, we would have to spend another $480, $479.28 to upgrade those tickets. Excuse me, which again, if you're not gonna use this, you're blowing $479 out the window, on top of the money that you're blowing out the window for the room. And then, of course, with your dining, with the free dining, it would be $0. With Art of Animation, if you chose to get the dining plan, it would be $830. However, you can eat cheaper not on the dining plan, if I'm being completely honest. So your numbers are going to be $4,190.25 versus $4,541.19 for that vacation. Now keep in mind, this is like one of our vacations. This would be, I think I did like a Thursday to Monday or Tuesday of a holiday weekend. It was Labor Day. There's, in my family right now, there are 3 adults and 3 kids. Pretty soon it's going to be 4 adults and 2 kids. But there are 3 adults and 3 kids. So yeah, so if you took the dining plan off, of the one where you're getting a discounted room, it'd be $3,700. So, do you think you could eat for $500 or $600 at Disney? I think so. You could bring your breakfast, you know, go to Costco, get yourself some muffins, bring cereal, and just buy a container of milk in the resorts. Yes, it's a little bit expensive, but is it $30, $40 a day for breakfast? No. You know, get some of those like shelf stable milks, throw a few in the fridge each day. If you drive, I mean, go to the grocery store when you get there and have breakfast in your room. That's a huge, huge, huge savings. Have all of your snacks, like bring them into the parks. So for us, we don't do this because we like Disney snacks, but in return, we bring we eat mainly breakfast. If we're not on the dining plan, we'll just bring our own breakfast. But you know, go to the grocery store and get some cool snacks that you maybe don't always buy. Get the fun little packages of chips, the fun little cookies. There's always Disney themed everything that you could get, and you could save yourself a huge amount that way. You could probably spend $25, which is about what it cost us to get everyone an ice cream cone or a Mickey bar at Disney, $25 to $27. You could spend that much money and have snacks for the entire week at Disney. If you go to Target, you know, get a few of those packages of like 6 or 8, and they're what, $3.99 a piece? Totally a way to save money there. And then if you wanted to, you could have, you know, maybe a couple character meals, some quick service meals. You could even maybe get bring some bread with you and have some lunch meat and cheese delivered. You can go to the food court and, you know, toast up your bread if you want it to be fancy, and make a sandwich to have either like that. Like if you're gonna be at your resort one day to take a nap. Some people will come back and take naps. I for sure would have groceries delivered or go to the grocery store, and I would make lunch in my room every day if we took a midday break in our rooms. I would have, you know, our snacks in the park. I would eat breakfast, you know, whatever we brought. I would have our lunch in our hotel room. You could bring Easy Mac for the kids. You could bring like raviolis for the kids. You can bring all kinds of things. Are you eating the healthiest on vacation? No. But are you going to be eating the healthiest when you're on the dining plan? No. And then you could totally go and have a few nice table service meals, few character meals, whatever, for under the price that you would be paying for the dining plan. Is it a little bit more work? Yeah, but it may be worth it to you. I don't think free dining is worth it, especially because I remember between the first trip and the second trip. First trip was free dining, the second trip was not free dining, it was just a room discount. The amount of time that we spent waiting in quick service places, the amount of time that our reservations were delayed so much longer because there were so many people in those restaurants, we had so much more time in the parks to do what we wanted to do because the restaurants weren't so bogged down. So when you look at these numbers, a difference of maybe $200 to $300, to me, it's not worth it, especially if you're not going to use those passes, especially if you can do the dining plan, or you can do without the dining plan. Go on to distrippplanner.com and put in your meals. So for us, we would have to pay $1,900 for our July trip for the table service dining plan. It would be $1,000 to pay for the quick service dining plan. We are going to bring some food. We are going to share meals, and we're going to do a few table services because we can't do a table service every day. It wrecks my kids' stomachs. They get really, really ill, and like my husband gets ill, I get ill. We can't have that much Disney food. It reacts with our bodies very, very badly. We've learned this. We've tried a few different trips and it just doesn't work. So for us, we are budgeting $1,000 and we will actually have quite a few table service meals, quite a few quick service meals, some snacks, and we'll still have the Disney food, but then we'll also have some things that we're making on our own, you know, things like that. We will do maybe 1 or 2 breakfasts, 1 quick service, 1 table service. We will do a few lunches, again, quick service, table services. But if we're at our hotel, we're just gonna eat there. We have a car, so we may actually go off site and have some places that we haven't had like in a while since we left our home in New Hampshire that they don't have here in Georgia, as a huge way to save money. I would not recommend leaving the parks, going off site and getting food and coming back to the parks. You're going to waste so much time that it's not worth it. And to me, at some point in time, it's a matter of that's worth spending a little bit more money to me. So now I'll go over the moderate numbers real quick, but you know, I was trying not to make this video too long. So for Port Orleans Riverside, the room total was $978.76. The tickets were $2806.90. We had to add the hopper, which was $399.40, and our grand total with no dining would have been $3,206.30, and that was for a basic standard room. Now, at the time whenever I pulled these numbers, the only thing that was available was a pool view room. So you're going to be paying for a real nice room. You're going to have a pool view. You're going to most likely be kind of close to some of the food courts and all that stuff. So it's kind of like having a preferred room. We've noticed when we get a pool room. So your room and tickets is going to be $27.97.95. So it's cheaper already. It's $100 cheaper. No, it's a few dollars cheaper to have this upgraded room with the discount. And then you don't have the $400 hoppers. And if you add dining, to add the quick service would be $35.44. To add the table service would be $38.29. So again, could you eat for less than that? Of course you can. They have microwaves in the food courts. They have toasters in the food courts. They have all the condiments and all those things that you can imagine in the food courts. Every time you get a meal at Disney, buy an adult quick service meal and split it. We always do this even on the dining plan, which is why we end up having a little bit of extra food that we can have breakfast in the parks and all that stuff, you know what I mean? So that's definitely a way to do it. Go to Target or Starbucks or whatever every week and spend $5 and just get yourself a Starbucks gift card. And then you can have that Starbucks coffee that you like at Disney. I love a Starbucks at Disney. It's something just magical and special to me. And then I go and take the $5. Then I have more than enough for my coffee, and I always get the kids a little cake pop. It's a little treat that makes it still feel like we're at Disney, and it doesn't hurt my pocket as much when I'm just paying $5, you know, a week to go and do that. So I don't think it's worth the heavy lines, the minimal cost that you're saving, and the fact that it's going to be so crowded and busy, and people get so hot-tempered because they're waiting for meals and all that stuff. So I just don't think it's worth it anymore. You know, when we did it a long time ago, you were saving like $1,000 or more. Now it's like a couple $100. To me, it's just not worth it. We actually, I think, would do better with our annual pass discount. I mean, I know everyone doesn't have that, but for us to be able to save 20 and 10% on some meals, it's worth it to us. So that's my thought on it. I'm gonna try to get this video up for you guys. Sorry, Ellie's having me put in YouTube videos for her. I'm gonna try to get this video up for you guys right now so you have it today, because they're saying it may be released next week. If you would like to make a Disney vacation, I have a Disney agent that I love. Just tell her I sent you and she will make sure she takes care of you. Don't get your heart upset if you can't get the room that you want. It's gonna be very limited amounts. So like I said, don't get your heart set on free dining, because you may be able to have some better dates or do better things with times that aren't free dining.